Hey y'all, so in this video we're going to be doing some chain sharpening for this chainsaw. So I'm going to be working on cutting up some more of those trees today, and in order to do that I want to get the chain nice and sharp. It's not very dull right now, but it has a whole day of cutting on it, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do a little maintenance on that and just hit it a couple times with the file. Let me show you the tool that I'm using, and I'll kind of show you how I go about doing this. All right, y'all, so this chain, it's a steel chain, and it already has a green link on it on this side. It's probably hard for you guys to see in the video, but there's actually a green link on there. So usually if I'm doing this without something that has one of those off-colored links, I'll just draw on it. I'll use like a Sharpie and color one of the links and one of the chisels, just so I can know exactly where I am in the process. But since this already has it, I'm not going to worry about it. So this is the tool I'm using. It's a steel branded setup, and so what it does is it's got a couple round files on it. You just buy the one that fits your saw, and then it has a square file, and it's got some guides here. So you set it up. The way you do this is, if we're these chisels alternate in direction. So I usually like to do all the ones going one way, and then I'll turn and go all the other way, and then I'll move the chain. So what this does is you set the round file down in the chisel where where you're gonna file. And so the round file will sharpen the chisel, and the square file will actually go ahead and grind the rake. And so you can get both things done in one pass instead of having to file the chisel and then go back and file all your rakes. If you don't file the rake when you file your chisel, eventually what's going to happen is this chisel is going to be nice and sharp, but it's going to be below the depth of your rake, and so it's not going to do any cutting, or it's going to act like a really dull saw. So you want to make sure that you file both of those, and by using a tool like this, you can make sure that they're both getting filed equally. Otherwise, just make sure that the number of passes you do on your chisel, you also do on your rake. So I'm going to show you how this works. We set this on here, and you can see this bar sits on the chisel in front of it. This bar right here on the inside actually sits on the chisel that I'm filing, and then the angle of this handle here is the angle that you're going to want to file. And so you just kind of set it there, put a little bit of pressure, and file. I'm only going to hit it probably 3 times because this is already fairly sharp. It's not super dull. Like I said, it's got 1 day on it, but I didn't hit the dirt at all or anything like that. The wood that I was cutting was pretty clean, so I'm only going to do we'll do 4 hits, and then that's nice and sharp. I'll kind of show y'all what that looks like. All right, so here's that green link that I was talking about right there, and then this is the chisel that we just filed. You can see it's got a nice shiny appearance. It's got a nice sharp point. This point right here is what you want to be the sharpest. So what you want to do, one way you can kind of check and see where you are is, I always wear gloves while I'm sharpening, but if you take your glove off and just lightly grab that, you should be able to tell how sharp you are. It's important that you go at the correct angle, otherwise that curve in the chisel is not going to be correct. And we're not going to get into square grind or anything like that. We're just going off of the stock grind on this chain today. So this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to go ahead and sharpen the rest of this saw, and then we'll get to cutting. The other thing to mention is make sure that you file each one equally, because if you file one side more than the other, that's going to cause your saw to walk in the wood. It's not going to make a straight cut. So you want to make sure that all of these chisels are filed equally. All right, so we've gotten up to this one here. I did. So we're going to go ahead and pull this around. We're going to start on this one. All right, so we are done getting this thing sharpened up. Everything looks good. You can see there's my green link right there. So we made it all the way around. All these are nice and pointed and sharp and ready to cut. So I'm gonna go figure out what tree we're gonna start with today, and we'll get to cutting. Hey, one other thing I kind of wanted to show you guys is this pole saw that I'm using. So this is an Echo weed eater, basically string trimmer, I guess, because you know, weed eater's a brand. But anyway, so this is an Echo PAS225. So this has the split bar, so it can have other accessories added on. This is the pole saw accessory. And it works really, really well. It comes with a 3-foot bar on it, and then you can also buy another 3-foot extension bar for it. They say you should only use one extra bar. I have not tried it any longer than that. I don't know if it's a resistance thing for the motor or if they're talking about a safety issue with doing that. There are some situations where I would like to have just a little bit longer bar, but overall this thing has been just really, really good in clearing up all these trees. There's my dog chasing rocks, making an incredible amount of noise. Tucker! Tucker! Yeah, okay. Anyway, so that saw has been really helpful in getting some of these trees that are not quite all the way down, but they're really, really close. But you know, they have branches going up towards the sky. So it's been really good at just limbing those up, keeping me safe, keeping me out of the way, and being able to get those things cut without having to worry about things falling on me. So I've been really pleased with it. It cuts really, really well. It's got a good chain on it. It's an Echo chain. It's the stock chain. I haven't ever sharpened it or replaced it. I haven't used it a ton, so it hasn't really needed it, but it's a 10-inch bar, and I've cut probably, I'd say I've probably cut 8-inch limbs with it so far. I mean, not like super small stuff, and it's just powered right through it. So I would highly recommend it if you need a pole saw for anything. It's way better than the manual, like a hand saw kind of pole saw situation. This thing works great. So if you're in the market for one, I highly recommend it. I have not tried the steel versions. I'm sure they're good. I don't know if Husky makes any, but this one works really well. I specifically bought this split bar weed eater for the accessories. I wanted to be able to do a pole saw if I needed it. I really was thinking more about an edger and things like that, which I haven't even purchased. This is the only accessory that I have for it, but it works really, really well. So if you're looking for one, I highly recommend it. It's a great purchase. But let's go get cutting on some trees. All right, so this is the first one that I'm gonna work on. We've got our basement entrance right here, and my mother-in-law is staying down there right now, so I want to get this cleared up so that she can get in and out of that door easily. So I'm going to just use the pole saw for this. It'll be a good example of showing you guys what it can do. And you know, we've got stuff that's hanging up pretty high, so I don't want to be under there while that stuff's coming down. So I'm just going to kind of limit up. We'll go a little piece by piece and just cut it up into small sections that I can, probably just ones that I can move by hand because I can't get the tractor around here right now. So we'll just get started cutting and we'll show you guys what this thing can do. All right, so I got that taken care of. We got all the trees cleared, or all the branches rather, cleared out of the way of the door. So that's great. She'll be able to get in and out. We just got to clean up the ground here and that little porch area, get it nice and accessible for her. But as you can see, the pole saw does a really great job. It's nice and sharp. It's a great chain. The weed eater has enough power to run it. So I'm very pleased with it. Like I said, if you need one, I highly recommend it. It's the Echo PAS225 is the weed eater base. They have a few different ones. They do have some more powerful ones. If you're trying to cut something that's a little bit harder, you might want to go for the higher powered weed eater. They do have several in the split shaft version that have different power levels, so you might want to look into that. But I highly recommend getting the extra extension pole. All this stuff can be found at Home Depot. The extension I had to purchase online. They didn't have any in stock, but I was able to get that online, get it shipped to the house. It only took a couple days and it was here. So anyway, great saw, highly recommend it. You see how well it worked. Let's go hit some more trees.